Chapter 10 Marriage of Prachetas and Birth of Prajaptis. Parashar says, during the time when Prachetas were engaged in penance, the earth was unprotected. Hence, huge trees came to cover her everywhere on land. Their foliage was so dense that cut off entire sky, and the sun could not reach the surface of the earth. After their emergence from the sea, Prachetas got very angry when they saw the trees. In anger, they let out formidable flames mixed with ghastly winds and uprooted all the trees before reducing them to ashes. A massive destruction of the trees followed. Seeing that, Soma, the king of the trees, approached Prachetas and requested, "O kings, kindly relinquish your anger and listen to what I say. I will mediate a pact between the trees and you." The trees have produced an extremely pretty girl named Marisha. Her creation has been meant only for the continuation of your progeny. She will produce Daksha Prajapati, who will be as radiant as the fire and cause much increase in your progeny further. In the ancient times, a great savant of Vedas, sage Kandu, was observing penance at the bank of river Gomti. Frightened by his penance, Indra sent an Apsara Prabhalocha to create a disturbance. That elf successfully created a disturbance in the penance of Kandu, who then began to live with her in a cave. Kandu passed 100 years enjoying sensual pleasures with the Apsara. One day, the Apsara expressed her desire to leave for her heavenly abode. This came as a shock for the sage Kandu. He requested her to stay for some more time with him. The Apsara agreed to his request and stayed with him for another 100 years. Then once again she expressed her desire to leave for her heavenly abode. Once again, blinded by lust, the sage requested her to stay for some more time. Once again the Apsara stayed for another 100 years with Kandu. Thus, every time, when the Apsara got ready to leave, sage stopped her. The Apsara knew about the agony of separation that a person experiences who is blinded by lust. She also feared the curse that such a person might pour down out of agony. Thus she herself did not desert the sage. And their love kept on increasing like a new moon. One day, towards the evening, the sage hurriedly left his hut. Amazingly, Prabhalocha inquired about the reasons why he was going out in such a hurry. The sage replied that as it was dusk, he should offer his evening prayers. The sage's reply amazed the Apsara further. Laughingly, she said, "O knower of religion, your day has ended after hundreds of years. Who will not be surprised to learn that your day ends after hundreds of years?" The sage said, "You had arrived at the river bank right in the morning today. You passed the whole day with me and now it is evening. Why do you laugh at me then?" Prabhalocha said, "O Brahman, hundreds of years have passed since I had arrived at your hut." Perplexed sage asked her, "Tell me exactly how much time has passed in our present communion?" Prabhalocha told the sage that they had together passed 907 years, 6 months, and 3 days. Hearing this, the sage began to curse himself that he was so sunk in the carnal pleasure with the Apsara that he even forgot the time. He also began to fret that his whole penance had been brought to naught. Thus cursing himself, the sage also scolded the Apsara and asked her to leave his hut at once. The Apsara was shivering in fear while her whole body was drenched in sweat. when she left the hermitage, she wiped her sweat with the leaves of the trees. While having carnal pleasure with the sage, Prabhalocha had conceived. Her fetus also oozed out in the form of sweat and was collected on the leaves. The wind brought the different parts of the fetus together while I nourished it with my rays. Thus the fetus grew safely and ultimately took birth as a girl child. Marisha, the trees will present you that same girl as your wife, said Soma. On the other hand, after his penance was disturbed, sage Kandu migrated to Purushottam region, modern Jagannath Puri, and began his penance afresh to please Lord Vishnu. Tale of Marisha's previous birth. Marisha, daughter of sage Kandu and Prabhalocha, was a queen. In her previous birth, she had lost her husband without having any child. She had then pleased Lord Vishnu with her devotion. The Lord had then asked her to seek a boon. She said, "O Lord, having been widowed at a young age, I feel that my life has gone futile. I am very unfortunate. Hence, O Lord, may I have by your grace a virtuous husband like you and sons like Prajapati in my next birth. May I take birth not from the body of my mother." Lord Vishnu said, "All your wishes shall come true in your next birth. You will have 10 progressive and popular husbands. With their help, you will give birth to Prajapati whose progeny will populate all the 3 worlds. You will take birth not from your mother's body still. You will be unmatched in beauty." Thus, coerced by Soma, Prachetas dropped their angry stance and accepted Marisha as their wife. From the parts of Prachetas, Marisha gave birth to Daksha Prajapati, who had emerged from Brahma earlier. Following the dictate of Brahma, Daksha Prajapati produced different kinds of living beings as his children. First of all, he created womenfolk from his mind. He got 10 of those women married to Dharma. 13 women were married to Kashyapa, while 27 were married to Chandrama. All the gods, demons, nagas, cows, birds, gandharvas, apsaras, giants, etc. are the progeny of those 50 women. Maitreya says, "O great sage, I want to hear the tale of origin of the gods, the demons and all other creatures in detail." Parashar says, "Daksha created the sages, Gandharvas, demons and serpents from his mind first. But none of those creatures could continue the progeny. So, with an intention of producing his progeny through carnal union, Daksha married Asikni, the daughter of another Prajapati. Daksha and Asikni together produced 5,000 sons. All of those sons were eager to continue the process of reproduction when Devarshi Narada approached them and said, "O children, it appears from your action that all of you are eager to begin the process of reproduction right now. But before you do anything, kindly listen to what I say. All of you are so ignorant that you do not know anything about the earth. How then will you carry out the reproduction? Look, you can move anywhere in the universe, so why don't you go and see the end of the earth?" Thus, motivated by Narada, all the 5,000 sons of Daksha dived into the sea and never returned. Thereafter, like a river annihilates in the ocean, Daksha then married Varuni and produced 1,000 sons. They also intended to carry out reproduction but were misguided by Narada. They too followed the footsteps of their elder brothers. Learning about the fate of his sons, Daksha cursed Narada. Then Daksha and Varuni gave birth to 60 daughters. 10 of them were married to Dharma, 13 to Kashyapa, 27 to Soma, 4 to Arishtnemi and 2 to Angira and Krishasva each. Arundhati, Vasu, Yami, Lamba, Bhanu, Marutvati, Sankalp, Muhurta, Sadhya and Vishwa were the wives of Dharma. Vishwa gave birth to Vishwadeva, Sadhya to Sadhyagna, Marutvan was the son of Marutvati. Vasu gave birth to 8 Vasus. Lamba gave birth to Ghosha, Yami to Nagvithi. Whereas Arundhati gave birth to all other creatures that dwell on earth. Sankalp produced. Sankalp, that is omnipresent resolution. Names of the 8 Vasus were Ap, Dhruv, Soma, Dharma, Anil, Anil, Pratyush and Prabhas. Vetand, Shrama, Shant and Dhvani were the sons of Ap. All-annihilating Kal was the son of Dhruv. Varcha was the son of Soma. Draveen, Huta, Ityavar, Shishir, Pran and Varuna were the sons of Dharma. Manojav and Avigyatgati were the sons of Anil. Sharastambh, Sheikh, Vishak and Nagme were the sons of Anil. Pratyush had a son Deval. Vatsatri, the sister of Brihaspati, was the wife of Prabhas. They had Vishwakarma as their son. Vishwakarma himself had 4 sons, Ajakpad, Ahirbudhanya, Twashta and Rudra. The great penancer Vishwarup was the son of Twasta. O great sage! Har, Bahurup, Trayambak, Aprajit, Vrishakpi, Shambhu, Kapardi, Ravat, Mrigavyadh, Sharpa and Kapali are the 11 Rudras. Sage Kashyapa had 13 wives, Aditi, Diti, Danu, Arishta, Sursa, Kasa, Surbhi, Vinta, Tamra, Krodhavasha, Ira, Kadru and Muni. Now listen to the description of their progenies. During the previous Manvantar, there were 12 gods named Tushit. At the end of the Manvantar, they met together and said, O brothers, let us now enter the womb of Aditi and take birth as the gods again in Vavasvat Manvantar. Thus Vishnu, Indra, Aryama, Dhata, Twashta, Pusha, Vivaswan, Savita, Matra, Varuna, Anshu and Bhaga, these 12 sons of Aditi, came to be known as Aditya. The 27 wives of Soma gave birth to many talented sons. Wives of Arishtnemi gave birth to 16 sons. Thus in all 33 gods including 8 Vasus, 11 Rudra, 12 Aditya, Prajapati and Vashatkar have been described in the Vedas. All of them are capable of taking birth at will. Just as the sun rises and sets, similarly these gods also appear in different yugas. From the part of Kashyapa, Diti gave birth to 2 invincible sons, Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksh, and a daughter Singhika, who was married to Viprachiti. Hiranyakashipu had 4 sons, Anuhlad, Ahlad, Sahlad and Prahlad.